Hey, this is Mike, and welcome back to another episode of Played with Meg and Mike. And that's
Hey,
Meg.
That's me.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I just got to get a little sneak peek into the first tribal council, and it was really fun for Megan.
I think you were saying it's fun to not be a part of it.
Well, it's really fun, just sort of nostalgic to see these early days of everybody just trying to figure out how it works and figure out who they want to talk to. It's pretty fun. Yeah, and not to be a part of it, but I mean, I miss it. I was jealous.
Right. That's true. And we're happy to have you in there, and it'll help us talk about it a little bit more because you got to see a lot of those faces in action. You got to see them talking and
a lot of
see a little bit of their dynamic.
Out early.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to see some people got a little bit of a little competition in them. You can tell to starting to take it seriously. It'll be interesting to see what happens in this next challenge. I think they're in it to win it.
So we did have the tribe of new players, Navala, lose the first immunity challenge, basically a skill testing brain teaser put on the website.
No shade at them. That's we kind of thought that would happen for the first one out, but now they know. Now they know what it's like.
Did you get a chance to see the post and see how it's a bit different than last year?
Yeah, I did. I like that. I like I like that everyone can see how it actually happened. I mean, I miss skimming the stories for my name, but
yeah,
it's nice to see how it's going.
Well, we're doing brain teasers now, so we're making them work a little bit harder and trying to coordinate before they send their answers in because nobody wants to put the wrong answer in.
Yeah, that's nice. That's an interesting touch. I think I probably maybe wouldn't have done as well in a brain teaser thing. That anytime I'm presented with a puzzle like that, I just really freeze up so hard immediately. And also, I guess you got to all kind of be communicating as a team more in that case. I like that.
Exactly. Navala started their own group chat on WhatsApp, so they don't talk to me anymore.
You're out again, Hamilton.
And I'm out again. I'm pretty sure I'm out in the Kobaro one as well. But at least for the first immunity challenge, I got to see theirs, and I clicked post, and then within 20 seconds, I could see Chelsea had messaged her group that there was a challenge up. And then I was trying to keep track of the answers coming in. I looked back and there was 100 messages in that group.
Whoa!
There was 100, and I got because everyone's saying what they think the answers are. They're trying to kind of figure it out together. And Brian's actually the one on that tribe that put it together first. Chelsea had a couple wrong answers, or one wrong answer, excuse me. I think other people threw some things out, and Brian got it. And then it sounds like in this tribe in Navala, John got it. So that's just interesting. And then people will buzz in quickly from there. But it won't be, the stats won't be, as important around who buzzed in first in this case, I think, until the individual portion of the game when it will really matter, which is super exciting to have challenges like this now for the individual portion as well, and for reward challenges.
Oh, right.
So you got to watch Navala have their first meeting, everybody minus Ross, who is a student and 21, and we were happy to have him in the game, but he hasn't shown a ton of interest, but that's fair for the first week. That always happens at some point.
Well, it makes for an easy first week.
So you got to see some of their dynamics. Anybody stand out as kind of as interesting or as maybe taking a leadership role in those types of meetings?
I feel like everyone kind of showed up. You did see a little, I don't know, I don't want to put anyone on the spot or put a target on anyone's back this early, but it seemed like there was a lot of people talking and interacting. Seemed like, good for early days, very social game to start.
And I think you don't have to worry about, saying people's names, only because our game is just a bit different. Everyone's talking, no one's stuck on an island. Everyone's talking to each other all day long.
Yeah.
And everybody kind of knows what's going on. And I think, if our game just evolves to be different, then if people know what's going on in our game, that's fine because it's different than regular Survivor.
Yeah. One thing that stood out to me was, these early challenges, you might feel like if you drop the ball in that first week, like Wayne might feel a little bit vulnerable right now as a player, but it's still really early. He can still come back from that, and I would say it's pretty crucial to build those alliances and see who is wants to have your back in that case. But it's really especially if they win this next one, you don't always find it carries over to the next week. You might have a fully fresh start.
That's right, and yeah, I hope so as well too. So you did mention Wayne, who did have he buzzed in last for his try, but then six of them.
And the only other vote.
Yeah, and the only other vote. So if you haven't guessed yet, Ross was the one who was voted out.
R.I.P. the teen.
This week, R.I.P. the 21-year-old. I called him a teenager a few times. Maybe that's why he didn't pay attention to the game. But that's fine. He's got school coming up. The one interesting thing is that it was unanimous, right? So it was all 14 people in the tribe came together.
Would have been fun to see just a fake out, throwaway, just to shake things up a little. Maybe next time.
I did have people asking me about the optics of that.
Yeah.
And I warn, and I don't know, and messaging me is an advantage, right? Because I can kind of talk about some things without blowing up anybody's game. But I was like, look, remember that people can take screenshots, right? So if that happens, everybody might get asked to show who they voted for, or somebody might ask you to show your vote, a screenshot of your vote. And if you can't do that, or the date is,
you can fake it. I mean, nothing.
Yeah. No, but I just mean after the fact, if you haven't planned for that eventuality, then it might not work. But I think that nobody wants to be that secondary target. This one was so easy.
Good, clean game out of the gate.
Mm-hmm. So I tried to ask April to get her to open up a little bit about voting out Ross, and she didn't really want to talk about it. I think because she feels like my people who are in my family who are in this game, of which there is, the 5 people left, that they have a target on their back, I think initially already. And they don't want that.
He's very confident. And you didn't ask him how he felt. He didn't seem too complicated or busted up on it.
And he talked to me about this Ross vote a lot because he was kind of angry that Ross wasn't paying attention, and he was like, "You're making me look like an idiot," right? And he's like, and Michael did this nice thing for you, and invited you, and this is a family thing, and making him feel guilty. And I was like, no, it's fine, it happens. It's I'm used to people not voting at all and then having to write them out of the show.
Yeah, did that happen last time at all?
I think last year, no. But in the past, I've always had people who just don't really pay that much attention to it.
Well,
right?
I'm sure people are starting to understand the commitment that they're in. So maybe in the next couple of weeks, we'll see how, if that can be held up. I remember those them talking about the phone blowing up, and yes, it's exciting now, but I remember for the weeks after Survivor Hamilton, every time I got a text, being like, something's happening, but I don't have to do that anymore.
PTSD.
Yeah, kind of.
What I was bringing up with the April thing too is that I think that side, at least Jim, he was relying on Ross's vote, right? So that's a number that he would have been expecting to have in his pocket for a long time in the game, and and if you trust him, he's the one who brought it up to everybody. He said, I'd love to have him in the game, but this isn't working for us, and we should just get rid of him. Which is a pretty big move.
Yeah, it is. But you're talking about family. What about with April and Jim?
Well, that's in terms of them being close.
Yeah. Do you think that's was that the plan? Was that the family tribe, do you think?
I think everybody in both tribes has pre-existing relationships and connections, right? And some of them are much longer than the relationship that Jim and April have.
Okay.
Right. Like you have people on the other side who have known each other, and even in this case, who've known each other since like high school, right, or elementary school, or just or being an early teenager. And so, who's to say what's stronger in a game like this when everybody's just trying to not be the person who gets voted out?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. So it's a nice, easy vote for them. It definitely brings them together. It makes everybody feel safer and feel like they're in a good place in their tribe. Do you remember having any of those votes? Any easy votes?
I think the first vote, John. Yeah. When he told us all to pick a number, he said that he had a secret advantage. That's one way to go out, to tell everyone that you have a secret advantage and that they have to pick a number between 1 and 10 for no reason. And
then he said he was going to vote for himself, or he told people to vote for him or something.
Yeah, I don't know. That was a mess.
Yeah.
Oh, so and there was a couple too where like if somebody dropped the ball, they would be like ready to sacrifice themselves up.
Yeah, but it was rare that it was you never had this many people in the tribe too. So to see 14 all agree is
a unanimous.
Is good for them. Yeah, that's good for them, and it's kind of lucky. I was saying it's like Jim was angry that Ross didn't pay attention, but it's like it's better for everybody that Ross goes home. Like it's better for Ross even that if he had cared a lot and got voted out first, it would have been way worse than if he didn't really matter to him.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's sort of a perfect first week, I think.
Yeah, I agree. And if you were watching the show, that's what you'd want too, right? The one guy who's not giving you any good sound bites.
So who do you think is going to win the next one?
I think you'll probably see Kabara win again.
You do, eh?
I think.
But didn't Fuego have their streak after after we lost? Maybe we might have lost twice.
You lost the first one and won the second one.
So.
Yeah, right. But I think in last year, because the votes or the challenges could happen any hour of the day, day or night, it was really that outlier that lost it for you or lost it for the other tribe, or like that would lose it for a tribe would be that one person who just couldn't be located, right? And in this case, literally everybody's ready.
Yeah.
Everyone's just sitting by their phones, waiting for this thing to get posted, and then their attention's on it. So it shouldn't.
Yeah, oh, man. I heard April being like 5 to 9. Oh man, I'm like, we had 24 hours a day, 4 o'clock in the morning, and then I think about you waking up at 4 a.m. like a sicko just to put us through this.
There was one day where I just set it to post. And then just slept, through it, and then just came in the morning and saw.
How fun for you!
Yeah, that's true. But I had to keep it interesting. But I can understand how unfair that was for people's lives, and we didn't have as many people with kids last season as we do now too. So it's that makes a difference as well. And everybody's home, so I think it. Anyway, all I'm saying is it's easier from that standpoint. And now I just got to determine how hard should I make the question.
Yeah, I don't know. I looked at that question. I got like halfway through the question before I was like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. 15 people, right? You figure somebody can figure it out. It's not, that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's really,
but they're going to have to figure out who the puzzle people are.
Exactly. And then get the right answer. And then everybody has to be really quick. And that's the thing is it's like, in the last game, it was all about having all the strongest individuals, right? And now it's about coordinating as a tribe, and then also like making that call quickly that like, yeah, we're gonna vote with this, and then also not having somebody who's off doing something else.
Right. Well, it's quite a little game you've got here, Mike Hamilton.
Well, good start, and if anybody knows the tricks, it's you. So as we go through the season and we see who gets voted out next and beyond, we'll connect again on this stuff.
I can't wait to see what happens next.
Right on. Well, thanks for joining, Meg.
My pleasure. I'll see you on Thursday.
Yeah, well, we'll talk on Thursday. Saturday.
Oh, right.
Will be the next tribal council. All right.
You got it. I can't wait to watch you have a meltdown in front of your webcam again.
Well, thank you. That's not going on the internet, that part.
Okay. Well, God bless.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.